afternoon.
Good morning.
Morning for me, afternoon for you.
Yeah, you're up very, very early today. I appreciate that.
It is not light yet outside. And I'm shrimpy.
I know, poor Jana.
That's okay. No, I've had coffee. I'm working on my coffee. I have not been out to do chores yet, but you get up early and all the inside animals are like, oh, it's time to eat. So
yeah.
So I mean, I still had to feed everybody inside so they wouldn't be all up in my business, right now. And you're still in London, clearly.
Still in London. Yeah, it's 1:00 here in the afternoon, I should say, just so people don't have to do the math and figure out which direction.
Yeah, and it's 6 a.m. here.
Yeah. Jana is a trooper, major trooper. We took the underground out to Greenwich, to the Greenwich market. They said it was a Christmas market, but really it's just always a market, and it happens to be Christmas time.
So people have Christmas stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't really like Christmas stuffy. It was just like normal craft things, like leather workers and potters and things like that.
That's cool.
And, like importers of random inexpensive things as well. So it's quite a hodgepodge, and it's like it's been a market for however long it's been a market. So it's like a pretty brick building that's sort of squarish, and the sides have permanent shops in them, but then the middle part of it is all stalls,
like a courtyard thing.
Yeah. And when you first go in, it's like a lot of food stalls, and then it's all different crafts.
Nice.
So it's cool. Yeah. Saw some knitted stuff, some different toys and like accessories and stuff. Mm-hmm. And felt some felt, but then it was a lot of like pottery, leather work. Someone had neon signs.
Okay.
Which was kind of cool. And like jewelry, stuff like that. Nice.
We ended up having maybe an average of 6 inches or so snow, but that's not that big of a deal, except now. That was yesterday, and now it's cranking windy. I mean, it's gusting over 60. The interstate is closed because of visibility. You just cannot see. Yeah. It's just slick. And the thing is they lay down sand, but it all just blows away. Even though they mix it with that sticky brine stuff, it's still, it's blowing that hard. And the snow is blowing and it's drifting and there's no visibility. So finally, after whatever the formula is for how many slide offs and actual crashes, they close the interstate. I'll get my woolies on in a little bit. And
like hungry and you gotta go out and take care of the animals.
Yeah. I'll go out and feed everybody. Like I'll feed them inside. They're fine. They have a heated water bucket because it's blowing like literally gusting over 60, but it's like 18 degrees. So I have no idea what the wind chill is, but it's gnarly.
Yeah. No.
But they're all inside. They have like a heated water bucket that plugs in. They're fine. And there's enough of them. They all snuggle up together. So yeah.
You have like a little arc situation. Yeah. All the animals getting along, cuddling up.
I'm excited to hear today about the chicken report.
Yeah. So I am not done with my first day of vacation knitting yet.
Okay.
I'm making progress. So I had some knitting time on the tube today. I was able to do. So I'm a little over halfway, but I can't tell you yet how it went as far as how many rows I was able to get out of the hank. So, but that's where I am, plugging along.
But do you have a guess?
We had the craziest thing happen on the tube on the way back. Adam and I were sitting at one point, and a lady came in. There was one seat next to him. She came in and sat down.
Right.
And then she started freaking out because her earbud popped out, and she couldn't find where the earbud was. So she's like doing the
looking.
where is it? Yeah, like she stands up, she's looking all around, like sticking her hands in the cracks of the seat. Oh, on the subway. Oh, it was so gross. And then my husband's like, yeah, he's trying to check like his jacket pockets there. So he's like, it's not, and then someone's watching and he's like, is it in your bag? Because we had bags from shopping. So we're going through our bags like to make sure it didn't pop in there. This went on for like 4 or 5 minutes, like, and she's getting more like, I can't believe, like, she's like flinging her scarf around and checking, in her shirt. It was in her mask. It popped off her ear and landed in her mask.
Oh, wow.
Because it was all like skin temperature, because it had been in her.
Yeah, of course.
Thing, and then the mask on your face. So she didn't feel it. And it wasn't until like right before her stop that she was like, oh my gosh, it's in my mask. And by then, like the entire train car is like watching, like, where could this have gone? Where is the earbud? Because we're like looking on the floor, looking through the seats, and it's just gone. It landed in her mask.
Well, yeah, it wasn't sealed very well, obviously.
Well, like the normal masks, like the white on one side, blue on the other, you get that gap on the side of them,
Yeah, unless you turn, I know, there's a whole, it depends on the shape of your face. Yeah, true. Crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was fun.
So do you have a guess? Do you have a guess about the colors today?
Okay, I know I talked to Lindsay and I was like, Lindsay, this one is from Mr. Seahorse that has been revealed. This ended up not being the ladybug. This is some coral from Mr. Seahorse.
Right.
And I had guessed that this was from Mr. Seahorse. And she said, no, this is actually from a different book, but it's also an aquatic picture. So I had the aquatic vibes. I forget what book now, she said. But no, I was wrong again.
I saw her comment on your comment on her Instagram post about and she's like, I know you'll get it right soon.
One of these days. I'm going to be 0 for 25 by the end of this. I just know. Anyway, on that note, should we open?
Yes.
Day 12, right? We're doing day 12 today?
We are.
Another light one.
Oh.
Are you seeing the colors okay? Or is it too bright?
It's a little blown out, but I can tell that there's some speckles and different.
Yeah, it's a lot of white. And then there's green and like sort of tan here.
Oh yeah, now I can see it. Yeah, your monitor adjusted pretty well. Uh-huh.
And then like some dark blue.
Nice.
That's pretty.
That'll be fun.
I'm not even guessing anymore. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. It's a pretty Eric Carle inspired color.
You'll guess when you see it knitted. You'll be like, you will. Like, you can't stand it.
We might be getting into like some Very Hungry Caterpillar territory with like the greens.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe I am making a guess. Maybe I'm making a Very Hungry Caterpillar guess. We'll see.
Go watch Lindsay's The Fiber Seed Instagram.
Yeah.
Reveal the day after. So
this will be on the 13th. She'll reveal what this is. So I have 2 now. I have to get caught up on knitting.
Okay. Well, you're going to a football match, parentheses soccer. You'll be able to do some knitting there.
I can't take it in with me.
Not even knitting?
No, I can't have any sort of bag situation. They don't allow any bags, no purses, no bags. So
probably. I was like, well, how could you stick the needles in your pocket and then just drape it inside a scarf?
I wonder if it's long enough. I could just like tuck it.
You could wear it. And
then put my coat over it.
And put the needle stick. And there are those wooden.
Very subtly.
Yeah, and then put the ball of yarn, put the little, it's a little hank. You could shove 2 of those in a pocket.
I wound this one up. This one's wound. So, but normally I just wear it. This is actually, I'm pretty happy I decided to do this pattern. This feels really nice.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time I put it on.
Okay, well, let us know if you end up sneaking it into the game.
I don't think I'm gonna.
You're not gonna risk it?
No, I don't want to risk it, and I don't know.
How lovely that is.
I don't want to be around. Okay, I'm gonna dip into stereotypes. I don't want to be around the drunken footballers, football fans
With pointy sticks?
with I just don't want to deal with any potential comments. I mean, it's bad enough baseball games back home. You get the comments from the people who started before they came to the game, you know, and you're like, whatever. But then I'd be the person saying whatever with the accent and draw more attention. I just am not gonna do. I think I'm just gonna leave it at home. But I like knowing that this is
wearable.
This is an option, yeah, for other situations.
Okay, I'm gonna open.
This would have been easier on the subway earlier than trying to knit it from my bag. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, day 12. Day 12 from.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh. Whoa.
Oh.
Look at that.
Did that still have the peach, or is the peach gone now?
Oh, there's a little right there.
Okay. That's coming through more red to me.
Yeah,
today.
there's a little under the label. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So let's go. I purposely left the last couple here at my desk so we could put them together.
Good idea.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. You can see it's getting more and more color. That's really nice. Very nice.
This whole fade from Lauren might have to end up being one of the like the Comfort Fade Cardi, or I don't know. It might end up, or maybe the Radvent cardigan from Ambaw.
Yeah.
Where you knit from one side across to the other. I don't know. I don't know. Part of
you still have time.
You
still have time, and you can make your decision once you've seen the whole thing. So it'll work. It's all good. Oh, okay. We got more. I was like all cozy in my unicorn parallelograms, just sort of like living life for a moment there. All right. It's Shetland. It's the Shetland Jana. Can you see my little Saber?
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, ho, ho.
Oh, and it's such a pretty green.
Wow.
So we had red before, and now we have green. This is a good size contribution as well. Let's see. Oh, it's from Uredale.
Yay.
They are one of my favorite yarns, period. This is their Sundew Heath, which means it's not green over white. It was over their oatmeal shade. Okay. So it's over dyed. So you get some nice variation to the green color. It's not a flat green, you know? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, she starts with, I love this wool. It's universally loved. These hardy sheep withstand the rain and windy weather on Shetland. Their wool felts well and stitches hold even if they slip off the needle. This wool started as a light fawn fiber, barrameal, before dyeing, but there are more than 30 registered markings of Shetland sheep, so they come in lots of different colors. As with most wool, it's very warm. It is great for color work. Shetland Wool Week shows off this great fiber. The fleece is so versatile, you can make items from carpets through to lace. I have used this wool in the shepherd dress headband pattern in my Etsy shop. This is Late Night Knits.
Yep.
It's fine for hats and next to skin wear, 6 to 12 centimeter staple length. So yeah, so one of the things she touches on is that Shetland fleece can be anything from carpets to fine lace. That's because the Shetland sheep, different areas of the sheep produce different qualities of wool. So around the neck and shoulders is the finest of the fleece, and then like the belly is like scratchier, you know, stuff. But so they separate the fleeces out. They pull the bits apart and use it for different things. So yeah, I love, and Uredale is organically raised and organically dyed and everything. Yep. It's wonderful, wonderful stuff. So, okay, national parks, Jana.
All right. Okay, day 12 is National Parks Grand Canyon. This is Grand Canyon, and this is from KraeO. And there's a little coupon.
Yay!
KraeO is KraeO. And we have an interview with her today. Her name is Kristen. So you'll understand later what the name's about.
Right.
So that's today's. I just ripped off that coupon. Ooh. Look at that.
Oh, ooh.
Look at that.
That's like a surprise at the end because you held it up in the middle and I thought I knew what it was going to look like. And then it got darker on one side and lighter on the other side.
Oh.
Very cool.
This is the Little Sister fingering. Colorway is Canyon. 100% superwash merino. 20 grams, 87 yards. Oh, it feels lovely.
So no nylon, just the merino. Very cool.
Lovely. That's beautiful.
That is lovely.
Yes. And next to yesterday's.
Very nice.
Yes. Fantastic.
Lovely.
Huh, for sure. All right. So we'll get on to that interview with Kristen. It was delightful to meet her. She's from Chicago. The Fuzz family lives in Chicago. So, all right. I'll chat with you tomorrow.
Okay. See you later.
Bye. You're like, Kristen, you're fantastic already. We already decided that we're pair twins, and except you have better glasses. And so I love that. So welcome to the podcast. We're really fun. It's really fun to meet you just because you have cool hair.
Thank you.
Oh, I mean, and cool
there's
yarn.
other reasons too. Love it. I feel like we could all start a group for short-haired gals.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
We can discuss neckwear to keep warm with. Yes.
And I just had to wear the whole hoodie because it's cold today and it was snowing and it's windy and so.
Totally.
Yeah. So tell us about the name KraeO.
KraeO. So, the name KraeO started. Okay, so it's just a play on my name. My name is Kristen Rae Oldak, and when I started this business eons ago, it was like when Etsy was all the rage, and I was just making my Etsy shop. Yeah. And I needed a name. And I was like, I'll just put this name in and I can always come back and change it at a later date. And then it kind of blew up and I could never go back and change it because everybody knew me as KraeO. And I have hated the name for so long.
Oh,
it's been such an albatross around my neck.
I'm sorry.
So it's just been the past couple of years that I've really embraced it. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm KraeO. My friends call me KraeO now. Like a lot of my customers just call me KraeO. They don't even call me Kristen. And now it's just a part of my thing.
That's funny. I thought it was going to be something to do with Crayola or crayons or, color kind of.
Happy accident, totally coincidental.
No, you know what I thought? I thought it would be something like Greek mythology, or piracy, like the Kraken.
I wish I had that much forethought. That would have been amazing. And I have thought about. I've done interviews, especially when I first started off, and I was so insecure about the name. I thought about lying about how I came up with the name, like building this whole backstory, cool kick-ass backstory about it, and then it's just I can't. I'm the worst liar ever. I'd never be able to keep up with it.
We would know. And then it would change.
Documentation of the changes. It would be awful.
No, I think it's cool. But I mean, I get what you mean about. Yeah. You have to. Maybe you're just gonna embrace it and grow into it.
Totally. I think I'm there. I think I've done it. It's just coming up with a business name is hard, man.
It is hard.
It's so hard. You want it to be cool and fun, but also practical. Those are really hard things to hit.
Yeah. Now with social media, you have to make sure that you can get usernames for it places.
Yes.
And Well, Kristen, tell us how you became a hand dyer.
So I started dyeing yarn about 4 years ago. I started as a designer and I was making knitwear, winter accessories and that kind of stuff. And I was hand making stuff and selling the handmade products.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Oh man, I did it for 5 or 6 years and I got so burnt out. I couldn't imagine another season of making. like
Of hats and mittens.
hundreds and hundreds of hats and mittens a season. It was brutal. So, I mean, it was awesome, but it was also just so hard.
Yeah.
And one summer, like I just decided to start dyeing. I went to school and I'm trained as a painter. And so I had always been like missing that element in my work. I turned to fiber after I got out of grad school and I don't know, it was just I just fell in love with crocheting and knitting and but that painting part was always kind of missing in my practice. And I just kind of, I saw a lot of people were dyeing yarn and I was like, oh, this is like a hobby people are like picking up. Like, I'm going to try this. And I did, and I loved it so much. And I just put my head down and I was like, I'm changing my business model and just did it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what makes your shop or your product unique?
I don't know that I would say I'm unique. There's a lot.
Okay, you are unique. You are absolutely.
I am myself are unique for sure. But I don't know about, I think about this a lot because there's so many dyers.
Yeah.
And the market is so saturated, no pun intended. But
Right.
but I say that all the time, and I think it's going to be so funny whenever I say it. But it's never that funny.
It's you that's funny.
So I think each dyer, even though we're kind of all doing the same thing, I think each dyer is super unique within themselves because we all have a different technique or we do things differently. And so like you can really tell somebody's yarn from somebody else's, right? Like everybody kind of has their own spin on things.
Right.
And I think that's what makes us all very unique. And when I was in art school, I remember a painting professor saying to me, and it always stuck with me, like, it doesn't matter if you're taking somebody else's work and copying it. Like if you're copying somebody else's work, that piece of work that you make from that is still inherently unique to you. You're gonna put your own spin on it. Like no matter what, there's gonna be something in it that makes it unique to you. That's gonna be different from the piece that you copied. And that always kind of stayed with me. And so even though I'm kind of like doing something that so many other people are also doing, it's different. It looks different. Theirs looks different. I think we all kind of bring this interesting aspect to our work and which makes it so fun. It's so like easy and accessible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is there a favorite fiber you have that you like to work with, or do you find yourself coming back to a certain color or colorway over and over again?
Yes, I would say my favorite fiber to dye, just strictly as a dyer, is just a superwash merino. Like it takes the yarn so amazingly, or it takes the dye so amazingly. Right. The color just like it strikes so fast. So like you really have a lot of control over what you're doing. So I love that aspect of it. But I love, sorry, my light just went out. I love working with any kind of blend that has silk in it. Oh. Like I do a lot of I think I have 3 bases that are non-superwash merino, but have added silk, which makes it very similar to a superwash in that way that you can't like, I do just throw it in the washing machine and it's fine. It doesn't felt, like none of that. And it just makes it so strong. So I use the silk as opposed to using nylon, just because the strength is better. It has a better drape. It has the sheen that's really beautiful. Mm-hmm. So like, I definitely love certain aspects about all the kinds of yarn that I have. But man, I do love dyeing that superwash merino, man. It's just, it's perfect. Love it. Totally.
One of the things that I noticed about your website and your social media presence is that crochet is well represented, which I think is pretty rare among hand dyers.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that is like an extension of your own interests or if that was an active business choice.
I would say it's both. So I'm a crocheter, like first and foremost. I didn't learn to knit until probably the last like 3 or 4 years. Everything I made when I was a designer was crochet. I love it. It's fast. I think it's easier than knitting. I mean, I know everybody has their own their own view on that topic, but so I love crochet. And then when I started dyeing and I started buying hand dyed yarns, I noticed the same thing. Like crocheters, I don't know, for a while it almost felt like a dirty word a little bit. You know what I mean? Like knitting is so much more sophisticated and like harder and takes longer. I mean, I don't think that that's true, but that's kind of how I felt as a crocheter. So I definitely wanted to keep it in the forefront of my business that like this yarn is also for you guys who crochet, and you can use hand dyed yarns to crochet. Like it's for everybody. It's completely accessible, you know.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, I learned to knit first, and so to me that's where it's at. So I'm not bistitchual.
Right.
I can crochet a teeny bit, like just to add a border for something or like make a washcloth or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe it's what you learn first. I don't know. Maybe not. But I definitely think that you're right. It's underrepresented in that hand dyed community.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
So that's cool. That's cool that you're doing that.
Yeah, I learned to crochet first. I definitely prefer knitting now, you know, if I had to pick the two. But I found that I think I just use knitting as like the generic word for fiber crafting. And so every now and then I'll have someone in my Facebook group who will say something about like, is crochet allowed here? Or they'll be like, thanks for letting me post about crochet. And I'm like, no, I love crochet. Like, it's just, it's like the Xerox of copiers.
I do the same thing. I use knitting as an umbrella term for like all kind of for knitting and crochet as well. And I also, years and years and years of crocheting, and now I'm finally knitting. And I actually right now today also prefer knitting.
Yeah.
But that's just today. I mean, that could change tomorrow. But I feel the same way. I do the same thing. Like knitters are crocheters, and
and see, I do not use the terms interchangeably because I'm not a crocheter, and because like in my group, on my Facebook group, we don't do crochet. It's a knitting group.
Yep.
And that's by design, because there's tons of crochet groups out there, like on Facebook and Ravelry, and because people would start posting questions, and I'm like, I don't know anything about that. So our group is a knitting only group.
Because, man, stay in your lane,
Yeah, because that's my lane. And I guess I'm not bistitchual. I can't do it.
I love it.
So what's coming up for KraeO in the new year?
So in the new year, I am working on, I'm hoping, God, I'm going to say this, and then maybe it's good that I say it because I don't have to make it happen. I'm hoping to come up with a new kind of launch for spring. So I'll be working on that all through the beginning of the year. Okay. I kind of want to do like I guess it's not a spring solstice. What equinox? An equinox? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yes, the vernal equinox in March.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping to like start celebrating those like seasonal changes with new palette colors. And just having them kind of exclusive to that specific season.
Cool.
Yeah. Along with like the rest of my kind of everyday colors that will always be online. Yeah.
Love that idea.
Right. So where can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram, and it's at KraeO, KraeO. And then my website is KraeO.com.
Easy.
Totally easy. Yep. Nobody wants the name KraeO, so I got it all.
That's fantastic. And so do you have a newsletter where people can go and sign up?
Yep. If you go to my website, a little screen will pop up and be like, sign up. And then you can sign up. And we don't spam or anything, but it's a great way to like get first dibs on anything that's coming up. I usually send out an email first before I push it on social media. So yep.
So being the email newsletter reader is where it's at.
Important. It is where it's at. It is.
All right.
Totally. Yeah.
Cool. You're delightful. Thanks for coming and meeting.
So are you ladies. Thank you guys.